I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to have a great show today. We're going to be talking about meme battles and meme wars. So I hope you guys enjoy that. We're going to go to a deep dive. I've got 15 on the list. I got a few extra added from the community overnight. So we're going to go through that. But this is really about participation. So I want you to get in the chat there as we go through every single meme coin. I want you to go through and in the chat there and do the what you like, what you maybe don't like, but always be constructive and so forth. Don't be negative or anything like in a sense, but some constructive feedback. We're going to go through each of the meme coins, and obviously we're not going to do a full-on analytical deep dive. It's going to really just be an overview, but we're going to go through 15 coins. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And there'll be obviously there'll be other meme coins on PulseChain. You can let me know in the chat there. Maybe we might have a time to look at those. But this is kind of our first sort of deep dive, as it were, at the overview level, if that makes sense, on the meme wars, because Coinarchy is coming up, and so is Coinwell, and it's going to become a much bigger deal on PulseChain, I think, with these mechanisms of burning the champion tokens. The king of the hill, as they would say on Pump Tires. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be getting into the new Trump Liberty launch that came out on crypto. So we're going to talk about that. WLFI is the ticker. So we're going to get into that as well. We've obviously had the monster thread released yesterday. Now, I'm not going to go through that today on the live stream. I will post you guys the link in the chat when we get up to it. But I'm actually going to do a separate live stream on that later on today. So we're doing a double live stream today. Yeah. We are. So that's going to be cool. So look forward to that. It's on the monster thread there, number 17 weeks in a row. And during that, I'm going to talk a little bit about marketing promotions on PulseChain. I think there's some very mistaken point of views out there. And I'm so going to, as the Crypto Night Show does professional promotions we have for the last 4 weeks, we do full market research on PulseChain. So no one else does that, and so we're going to give some insights from that. So I hope you guys look forward to that. I think it's going to be quite a cool little session. So there we are, a few little secret sauce coming out later on in the second live stream, because it's very important that people have accurate information about really what's going on. So we're going to get into that later on. Second show, not today, not in this show at least, because this is focused on the meme wars. So we're going to have a lot of fun there. We're going to have a brief look at the end of the show also on Unity and Taurus. That's coming up as well. And of course, we're going to check out Richard Hart and Rack and Rochelle's latest stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. It's going to be full of a lot of cool things while we wait for the market to represent the value that we all know that is on PulseChain. First of all, though, don't forget to share the show on X. All it takes is 1 moment of your time to hit the repost button. It really does help a lot. Pump your own bags, as they say, and get out there. As you guys know, the Crypto Night Show is one of 2 daily shows that are considerably large channels that do daily shows. The other one, of course, is Crypto Paradise. A big shout out to them. They've just come back from a retreat, actually, in Mexico. So Tulum, Mexico. So good to have them back. They must be refreshed, and I know they're rearing to go for the old surf token there. So big shout out to Nate, Nick, and Amaru out there. They do a great job. Honestly, I think we're really lucky to have such a professional, open-minded team with the Crypto Paradise. So that was on PulseChain. And we're going to talk a little bit more about them in the next live stream later on today on the Monster Thread, and we're going to do marketing promotions. So hope you guys look forward to that. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff there. Q Baller in house there. Morning all. Let's go PulseX and Hex. Absolutely. You can't go past the cause. Now, we often talk about lots of other coins on the channel. As you guys know, we're during a live stream. You can't just talk about one. I couldn't just talk about one coin every single day for year after year. Although I almost did it with Hex, right? Almost did it with Hex. But there's lots of stuff happening on PulseChain. There's a full blockchain. We are in DeFi. People are free to do their freedom, right? I think sometimes people get lost track of the fact that people are free to do stuff. They go, why are you talking about that? Why are you doing that? Well, it's freedom, right? It's all part of the old principles of Richard Hart. And of course, you can't just have one without the other, right? So just take note of that. But PulseX and Hex, the Richard Hart cores, they are your staples, right? They're your go-tos. And they should be, a big part of your portfolio if you, a strong belief about where PulseChain's going, as we do. All right, so we've got Matt and Barley in the house as well. Howdy all. Good to see you, Matt. Big shout out. Liking your little thumbnail there with the old Liberty there. I'm not quite sure what's at the bottom, the red part there. I can't see it from here, but big welcome to Matt there. All right, what else are we going to get into? Let's get into the show. Let's go to the crypto first. Let's see where crypto is at. Obviously, we're on a bit of a down day, and we're at the beginning of the week, right? So we had Monday in the US. I don't think there was any stock market on Monday, so I won't be covering that. But crypto, let's go into that for Monday. Where are we going? We're going to the big screen. We're going to the big screen. There we go. All right, so here we are on crypto coin market cap. We've got the market cap at 3.83 trillion. I cannot tell you enough how small that is. I mean, it sounds like a big deal with the trillions, but globally, that's still a very small market, and that's why you guys are still here early in crypto. It is. I know it feels funny, 2008, 2009 with the old Bitcoin, but here we are, 2025. And we're really just at this inflection point where institutions, sovereign states are all starting to get into the get into crypto, and they start slow and then they start ramping up fast, and that's what we're going to see, right? We've got to see it in stages, right? It takes time for sovereign states to get themselves set up to buy crypto, although we know that they are, sometimes they're even mining Bitcoin, right, with the whole power of a city, things like that. They're mining Bitcoin and things like that, but we know it takes time for institutions, corporates to change their risk profile, to be able to actually accept, crypto into their risk management portfolio, particularly Bitcoin or Ethereum in this case. So it does take stages, but things really, the floodgates are started to open, and we're in that final stage of probably a 10-year rally in crypto. And of course, there'll be boom and bust cycles in there, but it's onwards and upwards from here, and you're just at the beginning. All right, so let's get into where we are here. So we've got Bitcoin right now, $109,169. So not too bad, up 1%, holding up there. But a lot of the altcoins are down slightly. We've got Ethereum at 4,300, down 1.8%. Now, even despite all the strategic ETH reserves buying up tons of ETH, they've got still lots more to buy. We obviously have moved from about 36 to 3,700 to 4,300, and a lot of this big move over the last sort of 7 weeks since they've been really accumulating. So we're still holding up pretty well there, and as we know, ETH on exchanges is falling. Exchanges, of course, have been taking out shorts with a lot of dumping, take out their short positions to rinse and repeat. We've got a lot of that sort of games going on right now. XRP number 4 is down 0.3%, $2.75. BNB number 5 is down 1.3% at $845. Solana is at number 6, down 1.5% at $197. We got Tron at number 9, down 1.1% at 33.7 cents. And our top 10 finishes off with Doge there, down 1.3% at 21 cents. So that's our top 10. And the best performer over the last 24 hours has been Bitcoin, up 1.1%. The best performer over the last week has been Solana, up 4.7%. So getting a little bit of taster, even with these sort of flat markets or slightly down markets, getting a bit of a taste of where Solana is going to go, right? I saw Rack and Michelle, which we're going to talk about later on, asking about, what changed to add. Well, obviously you want to add the big volume change, right? The big turnover change. You want velocity. You want where all the action's at. So no doubt he'll be adding Solana and chains like that pretty straight out the gate. Obviously not EVM chain, but definitely he can access multiple technologies on his platform. So we look forward to that. Launching in September, maybe September the 12th. We'll see. I'll see how that goes. Now, the big one news, of course, was Eric Trump. Before we get to that, we're going to look at what's the best performer in the top 100. We can see that Meme Core there is sitting at number 92. It's up 76% for the week, up 18.5% today. Number 25 position is Kronos. That's up 74%. Story IP, number 60, is up 37%. Number 3, Pole, or used to be called Matic for the last bull market, up 17% there for the week. And Qcoin, sitting at number 75, is up 16%. So those are the top 5 at the moment in the top 100. We've got the top gainers there: Mincore, a Clash of Lilliput, and ACIT there. Now, we've already looked at Mincore before. We haven't looked at these other two from memory. So Clash of Lilliput, let's have a quick look at that while we wrap up the crypto coverage. We got 41 cents. How long has it been around? Since June 18th, 2022, and has just come off the bottom recently. It was down at 10 cents, now at 41 cents. So nice little 4x there, or 5x, and it's on BSC chain. Lilliput Games, so it's a gaming site here. So Lilliput, that's it there. I've got announcements. The Clash of Lilliput platform is in there. So yeah, it's got a game. People like kind of these cards. Is it one of these cards games? Oh no, it looks like it's got some visuals. Anyway, so that is in play. Lilliput sitting at number 978. So reached in the top 1,000 now with this little recent pump. So must have had some news there too, no doubt. That is Lilliput. We've got ACIT as well. ACIT, I guess it's it, number 453, so a lot higher ranked. Been around since when? 7th of September 21. So, at the top of the last bull market pretty much. It is on BSC chain as well. So both of them, BNB, BSC chain. And it's a finance platform as well. So asset.finance, the ideology coin. Is it? So there we go. Is it a game as well? Looks like it Warriors. Looks like a little bit of some sort of gamification here with finance. Got asset finance. Kind of looks kind of cool. All right, so you can deep dive into that if you want. But that is our big movers in the top 1,000 today. But of course, the big news is Eric Trump, right? So the big news is World Liberty Fi or WLIFI there has gone live, and this was about 17 hours ago, I think. 17 hours. We are live. We are now live. Our team has always believed in America's strength and leadership. With today's World Liberty token launch, we're setting a new standard for financial freedom, built on trust, speed, and US values. There's a huge moment for the future of money. So it's had 1.3 million views on that. So if you want to give a gauge, now remember that it's got 1.3 million views in about 17 hours. And is that 7 hours? Yeah, 12. Let me do the math there. 12. Yeah, maybe not quite 17. Is it 11? Let's say 11 hours. Is it 11 hours? I thought it was 17, but 11 hours since he's posted this. But I think it launched 17 hours ago, something like that. Oh, maybe it hasn't. 11 hours. Let's just say 11 hours ago. And so, yeah, 1.3 million views on that so far. Now, let's see where it's gone. So we're going to scroll all the way down the top 100. It is in the top 100, as you could imagine, being World Liberty. Now, these guys have got their own stablecoin, I think. I think they've got their own stablecoin. Is it X USD1? I think it's USD1. Could correct me on that, but I think it is. World Liberty Financial. And they've come in at number 32 right here. Let's have a look at the price. Now, the price is started off at 30 cents. It is now 23 cents. Not bad, not bad. So a very little dip at this stage. But here's the key part. The key part is the market cap is $6.6 billion, and it's coming at number 32. That's a very strong position. I saw the media said, coin is down, but actually, $6.6 billion. So, it's money made, right? Money made. So we'll keep a lookout for this. And it is during the Trump age, and we'll find out where it bottoms out before it starts, re-rating again. Easily this could do $100 million, $100 billion, etc. like that, right? Based on the Trump Foundation and also what they're doing with stable coins, right? That's the big deal there. So let's go to worldlibertyfinancial.com and have a quick look at the site. And where DeFi meets TradeFi, building legacy there. So they got their trading WLF ticker. Their products, of course. Let's have a quick look. USD1. Yeah, see, good memory, eh? Good memory there. The dollar upgraded. Digital dollar stablecoins that are accepted both on-chain and in the real world. So there we go. It's still now they said this is the fastest growing stablecoin out there at the moment. I've seen them on the news talking about that. So got USDX1. So they're looking to, you guys remember, these guys have got a lot of connections, right? They've got a lot of connections. They're going to be looking at getting big money in to use WLFI and the USD1 stablecoin, with all the connections from the stock market. So it's a pretty big deal. They've got governance, of course. This will have WFL, the World Liberty Financial Token, will have governance ability, right? So, this is cornerstone the protocol there. Proposed review and vote. So there is a governance token, and that is Liberty there. And of course, what else we got? Providers. Let's see, they're going to have lending and borrowing coming up. So 90 that hasn't even launched yet. So that will be all bullish news that the market will price in, right? Once they get a bit of flavor it. And of course, they've got all these providers like Binance and Bidget and everyone else all jumped onto the bandwagon pretty quickly. MEXC, OKX, PancakeSwap, everything else in there at the moment. So that is the play. They got a bridge here right now. They're gonna have an exchange, and of course, so the exchange will probably suck a lot of air out of the room as well. They're gonna have lending and borrowing. So it's gonna be interesting to see where this token goes from here. Obviously, there's big, probably insiders and usual lot. So you have to do a lot more due diligence than what we're doing. But that is the big launch today from Eric Trump and the World Liberty there. What else we're going to say about that? That's pretty much it today. Trending is World Liberty, obviously. Hyperliquid also trending, and Bitcoin as well. There's a Bitcoin trending there too. Right, so that is pretty much our coverage for crypto. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's see if we've got any more comments in the chat. We're going to get into PulseChain next. And then after that, we're going to be spending a lot of time going through the meme coins. 15 on my list. I've added a couple from people in the community overnight. And we may look at a couple in the chat there if you guys get involved as well. We've got Wookie in the house there. Wookie is out and about. How can you be out and about? We're about to talk about meme coins, Wookie. Wookie says, my life is a meme. My life is a meme. Well, you should be video recording. Wookie, you should be taking little video clips. Wookie is a man of adventure, and I've said to him he should be out there vlogging. Not excessively, not like some teeny bopper, but out there definitely getting out and about. All right, so we're going to get into Richard Hart and PulseChain. Let's go have a look at that. So Richard Hart, of course, put this out yesterday. We did go through this. I'm not going to go through it again, but he did disclose the LCD tablets that are being sent out to hundreds of thousands and eventually millions of people, not only in America but around the world. 400,000 electronic devices. That was double the amount that we initially expected to be landing, which is 200,000. And we've seen pictures of the warehouse, and we know that the guy delivering the van and everything else. We got all that information there, and we got to see what the actual device is, right? So a writing tablet, and these apparently are very popular in Amazon, right? There's a whole lot of versions of them, but of course it's got PulseChain branding and hex branding. It's even got pump tire branding on it, and also the logos, right? So it's pretty cool, and something that adults and children can use, and so it's like a free billboard. Pretty cool. So that's what we see happen there. Now, since that time, we've had Richard also put out. Now, let me just remind you, remember that we had 1.3 million on that LibertyFi launch with Eric Trump? Well, we've got, look how many views. That's Trump. That's Eric Trump. Look how many views Richard's got, 527,000. And of course, this was, when was this posted out? Let's see, comparable, 6 o'clock last night. So, probably another 6 hours. So definitely 17 hours ago. So not even a full 24 hours, and we're already up 530,000. And that's versus Eric Trump, of course, Trump family, etc. So it just goes to show you how big of an influence Richard Hart has. Like I said, I don't think there's anybody out there, crypto founder, influencer, whatever, that has the engagement rate that Richard Hart does. And he's not even back streaming again. Can you imagine the pent-up excitement when Richard comes back streaming? Obviously, he's still got the Interpol thing out there, but he's defeated the SEC on the 7th of July. It could be massive, guys. I really do think so. I've been really keeping monitoring on the number of views that he's getting on his posts. So pretty cool. Now let's jump over to this post he put out 3 hours ago. Why you all ads be like this? Buy now. If you don't buy Hex and PulseChain, we'll kill this dog. I don't know. That might turn off quite a few females. They might find quite sensitive there. Their own dogs, but apart from that, everyone gets the joke, right? Everyone gets the joke. So that is pretty much that. Let's see what people said at the bottom there. So I see what you're applying. I'm ready for the dip. Ready for the dip. Funny, but what? So we got lots of people there. Let's go there from Mike Memes, and of course Mike Memes there showcased in the monster thread this week. So big shout out to Mike out there. Kind of cool. Canadian version. Buy PulseChain or I will club this baby seal. There we go. So a lot of what they call it, dark humor, don't they? Dark humor. I think that's what they call it. So there we go. We've got lots of people replying to that. Some dark humor there for marketing. So that was a post from Richard from there. And then we saw this post here 2 hours ago. He says, oh, look, what costs $15 at Staples. Look at that. So $15 at Staples there. It's got some writing tablets there. Looking at writing tablets there as well. And what else? It's funny how people talk about stuff being a couple of bucks, but then forget it's $15 shipping or something along, which is true. So we get an idea of the shipping cost then. What else there? It's funny how people don't know how to do maths. Imagine this example. Math works like 10 million to one person, or 1 million to 10 people, or 100,000 to 100 people, or 10,000 to 1,000 people, or 1,000 to 10,000 people, or 100 to 100,000, or 10 to 100 to 1 million, and 1 million to 10 million. So there we go. That is from, we got Mike Memes in there again. Mike is very good at jumping on this. So that is from, that's from Richard there. And let's have a look down here. We got Solid X says $10 million investment, 10 million units, assuming 1% conversion of normies into 100,000 new holders. $10 million in exchange for 100,000 users is actually a good deal. And we talked about that yesterday, right? We talked about that yesterday with some quick numbers that we had from people. So yeah, it could, you just need even a low conversion rate is pretty good onboarding adoption. And of course, then you have network effect too, right? So you get some of those percentage, even if you get a small percentage, say you got 1%, you get them onboarded. And then, of course, they got the network effect after that, right? So they tell their friends, tell their friends, tell their friends. So it's a double whammy, right? Double whammy. So that's from Richard, kind of cool. And that was posted out as well. Nice stuff there. So let me just jump out of there. So I think that was it from Richard over the last 24 hours. Yep, that was it. So some little cool teasers there. Now let's get into the results on PulseChain. We're going to quickly go through this because we're spending most of our time on the memes, right? So we're going to be doing the meme battles. And of course, we're on day 843. We've got Pulse at the moment at quadruple 0402. It is down 5.6% at the moment. So it looks like it's easing a little bit. It was actually down a bit further than that earlier. We're at 40% of the mean sacrifice price right now. So you're still in accumulation phase. We've been in that for some years now. So get what you can. But we think that this is almost over, guys. This is almost over. So just take note, when it does revert, when it does change, it's going to be happening pretty fast. Now, PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0297, down 3.8%. We've got the buy and burn has hit 7.7%. So we're finally hit another round number there, 7.7% on the buy and burn. And of course, we've got incentive token there, $1.54, down 2.5%. And we've got Hex there at 88 hundredths of a penny, down 7.16%. EHEX at 17 hundredths of a penny, which has not changed from yesterday. And the combined price EX and PX at the moment is 1.05. That is 1.05 cents. So there right now. That is where we are. So that's day 843, folks. Let's go to the gas prices. We've got 1.9 million beats, so we're a little bit high these days. We've actually quite low Gwei recently, so just the live stream, less than 1 million, but 3 cents for a PulseX swap right now. The Validus, let's have a quick look at that. 52,373 Valids at the moment, so down slightly from yesterday. It looks like down about maybe about 20. And then finally the Bridge, which is our heartbeat check, is sitting at 106.4 million. So there we go. That's down from yesterday. Obviously, we've got EHEX down and so forth, or EX is pretty flat actually, but that's where our stables are at the moment. So not too much there. I commented on the stables yesterday. We're not going to do it today, but that is where we are right now. Let's have a quick look at the PulseChain overview very quickly. We're not doing a deep dive today. I'm not going through all the 100 tokens. So some people say, I say, oh, why don't you cover this token? Why don't you cover this token? Why don't you cover this token? Well, if you think about it, I cover 50 to 80 tokens a day, sometimes 100 tokens a day. All right, so it just depends. So as far as I know, I'm the only one doing that, right? Because I'm doing the daily show. I'm the only one with this format, and I cover, pretty much everything on the top 100 that's performing on Deck Screener. So if you do get people out there saying, it doesn't cover this, doesn't cover that, I'm covering more than anybody else. And I'm also covering pretty much all the top 100 trending coins every day. So take note of that. You guys know you're here. But I do see some weird comments out there sometimes. And they say, why didn't you cover that? Why didn't you cover this? I feel like I'm neglected. Well, that's not the case, is it? Because I'm covering them here. Now, on that note, just because I'm covering the tokens doesn't mean that I'm endorsing in them. We have new pump tires and new tokens launch every day. And I don't get to check them all before I do the live stream. So, do your own due diligence, all that good stuff, right? Do all that due diligence. Now, we do have a new token, 7 hours from Pump Tires from the looks of it. It's called Higher Pump Tires. There we go. And that is up 162% today and down 34% in the last 6 hours. Now, one of the big ones on the move has been Sparta over the last 2-3 days. I think the last 2 days in particular, and that is up 53%. So Sparta on the move. And as I hear it, it's got some big things happening. So you might have to go dig deep and find out all about those. Apparently, I'm not allowed to talk about it. So you guys have to go find out yourself. But it's up 50%. So that is Sparta right now. And it looks like it's getting pumped on the news, but some huge volume come out of nowhere. Look at that. So the news must be pretty good. because the volume came in there. Look at that, where it got $98,000 of volume in the last 24 hours. Look at that. And we've got a brand new candle started, and it's starting and it's going higher. It's going higher. Whoa. So it must be some damn good news out there. But yeah, way eclipsed all the volume before, right? All the volume before. We were doing probably 24,000 in the last week. We had a couple other candles around 45, but today this is the biggest candle of all time for Sparta, and that is almost $100,000 of volume. So 50% gain. That's how it goes. So there we go. Feel free, if anyone knows any intel and they want to say it in the chat, you can do it. If anyone's got any intel, you can say it in the chat. All right, so that's Sparta on the move. We also got Oink on the move at the moment, so it's up 36%, 00092. So piggy bank, good old Oink, oink, oinky, oinky. There's some big volumes coming there too. So there we go. They've got some big treasuries, haven't they? Treasuries. Looks like maybe the treasuries are active. We got 11K and 22K in the last 2 days. So Oink there on the move the last 2 days. There we go. Let's have a quick zoom out that chart. So it's got an up chart there, and looks like they got, as you guys know, a pretty dynamic setup there with the treasury. So looking pretty good. In fact, you can check that out on the website. That is Oink. Some of the other ones there. We've got Hex at the moment, number 7 is up 10%. So we've got 7 pairs here up over 10% today. So not a lot on the move. We've got a couple others that are green though. Vouchers up 5.9%. Unity, which we're going to talk later on. So we'll pull it up actually. We're going to talk about that briefly later on. We're not doing a deep dive into Unity because we're doing meme coins today. But we've got Swarm at the moment up 2.7%. Reserve Tray up 2.5%. Surf Token from Crypto Paradise. Is this already the early move up 2.2%? And we got UFO there as well on the move. What else is looking good there? Die Hard with PDime at 1.17%. We got SolidX at $9.32, up 0.5%. Now be careful with SolidX, guys. They got this is Firewall. It's got a big decentralized crypto casino. We're expecting potentially to launch mid-September or second half of September. And of course, they'll probably get, don't get left behind. Obviously, do your due diligence because, I'm not suggesting you should get into it, but, it's kind of a little obvious. But anyway, let's check that out. Now, the last one that's slightly green is Liquid Loans, and that is just up slightly. Everything else is in the red right now, as you can see. So we're not going through everything else today. We will, but not in this order. So that is the top 100. The worst performer at the moment is Peak down the bottom here. That is down 56%. Now, we're going to get into meme coins because that's what we're talking about today. So before we do that, though, let's get into the chat. And we're up to the main topic. So PulseChain, Coinarchy, WarRoom. That's what we're going to be talking about now. Let's see. Let's go back up here. We're going to have a look at some comments. We got Matt and Barley in the house there. Howdy, Matt. Big shout out. Only females own dogs. Oh, Superman, you have done it now. No, I know you own dogs, Matt. I know you own dogs. It's just that the problem is, Matt, I've been walking the last couple of weeks and that, and all I see is females with dogs. I haven't really seen males with dogs, so that's probably why. It's probably why. You can understand my bias there. But I know that Matt has a beautiful dog, so there we go. Sean in the house there. Morning all. Good to see you, Sean. Big shout out. Just landed in Melbourne. New Zealand weather cool and wet. Melbourne. Well, Melbourne's on kind of the same as the attitude. Is that the right word? So it's one of the words you could use as New Zealand. So particularly in North Island, I guess, Melbourne. What else there? Matt says people usually cover what people give them. Fortunately, even Bad Boy ran the banter scammer and Altcoin Daily get free coins. People usually cover what people give them. Unfortunately, even Bad Boy ran the banter scammer and Altcoin Daily get free coins. Hey, look, it's just part of crypto, isn't it? Really, that's all I'd say about that. But we're going to be talking about cool stuff, promotions anyway, later on in the second live stream. Wookie's in the house says when it starts snowing, let Wookie know. Well, Wookie is in a land where it does snow, so I'm not in a land where it snows, and so there we go. Wish you the best there, Wookie. Although, is it still snowing this time of year? I guess it is. Yeah, September probably would still be able to snow down there. Maybe even possibly early October even, maybe. Matt says Richard doesn't give away free coins, hence the silence. Richard doesn't give away free coins, hence the silence. But we need to be open on PulseChain, inform followers of projects. Yeah, well, you're going to want to watch my show later on, Matt, because I'm going to talk about that. Because people are out there making comments that they really don't know what's going on. And we have got the full market research on PulseChain, and we're going to give some insights in the second show. You don't want to miss that. A lot of people saying a lot of comments, and they're just not based on what's actually happening on PulseChain very well. So anyway, that's normal though. It's free choice, and we love freedom. That's one of the principles of PulseChain and crypto, right? Sean O'Malley's announced that all news is out now. I see. Okay. So yeah, looks like we got some big things for Sparta coming up with the new coin launch and new reflection token there, going to benefit the Sparta. So looks like the alpha has dropped. So we're getting a big pump in that chain. Everyone want to get those coins, no doubt. I'm not sure what the deadline is though, Sean. Let us know in the chat. Valence in house there. Greetings all. I like Briah's chance of to win the meme war the cycle. Low liquidity, small market cap makes it easy to pump, especially with Rackham Whale backing, says Valiant. There we are. There's a bit of insight for that. Now we're about to get into the meme coin, so you want to get your comments in as well. And you should be covering the Raiders in NRL. They are green every day, says Matt. That's a good play. But I think that's the wrong show. I think that's going to be Brenton's and Wookie's show. They're going to do rugby league NRL. Well, they're supposed to be doing, but I think they're both busy doing other stuff. So one's doing golf and the other one's doing baby time. That's pretty much it. I think they're probably big priorities, but it just shows you NRL is second layer to them. Second layer. You and I, Matt, you and I, the true NRL. Oh, and Sean, you and I and Sean are the true NRL supporters, as we say. We got welcome to Melbourne, Sean. That's from Cuballer. Wookie says Warriors Raiders final. Says Wookie. That'll be interesting. And Wookie, that will be a good one. Yeah, good game. All right. Like I say, Wookie, I think you got to start up your NRL rugby league show. You got a couple of people like Matt, Sean, and Brendan that could be all come on as guests and co-hosts and things like that. So there we go. That is the suggestion of the day. Let's give that a little musical tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. All right. Almost be a win-win. Well, it will be if you do your show, Wookie. If you do your show, start your NRL show. Honestly, I think there's a huge gap in the sporting market for that. It could be massive. All right, so let's get into meme coins, and we're going to do a little survey first. So let's go to that, and we're going to have a look at here. So this is CoinMarketCap. So this has the meme categorizations here, top memes. We can see some of the top memes at the moment: a Doge, a Shib, Peppy. We got all these copies over on PulseChain for these, right? Pudgy Penguins or Pengu. Not sure if we've got that one actually. I don't think we've got that one. But Trump official, we got Trump one. Bonk, SPX 6900. We got that one, haven't we? Mean Core, Floki. These are all by market caps. And pretty big. Dog with Hat, of course, which is the Bitcoin one, isn't it? Dog with Hat. No, that's not the Bitcoin one. Bitcoin one says dog, isn't it? Dog. We got Fartcoin there as well. We got Bulldon. We got Brett Token. We got 8Coin, Mogcoin, Sneak, Turbo, Toshi. And these are all worth hundreds of millions of dollars, right? All the way up there. How many coins that are memes listed on CoinMarketCap that are billions? Well, we got SPX 6900, one. Bonk, Trump official, Pudgy Penguins. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 7 coins that are worth $1 billion over there. Now, we're going to have $1 billion meme coin on PulseChain. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. Will we have $100 million? I guess is another way of looking at it. Will we have even 10% of that on the old PulseChain? We're going to check out the market caps. But those are some of the big coins and the big valuations. If PulseChain, does eventually get re-rated as we expect it to, dramatically, and of course follow the Ethereum theme, since it's a full system state copy, and we're sitting on number 5 biggest ETH reserve, are things going to happen like that? So you guys let me know. But we've got the whales on the move, Rackham and Firewell, and people like building and bringing in new investors. Could be pretty exciting. We've got Richard Hart's marketing on the move. Probably expect that to really start kicking in from maybe at the end of the week. I guess they've got to deliver the items this pretty much today, tomorrow, to the mail house, and that'll probably take a day or two, maybe. So we probably could see the first people start to get it next weekend. What do you guys reckon? Next weekend seems like reasonable. So yeah, it could be that quickly. And then we might see some impact slowly grind into the charts. That could be happening too. So that's kind of where we are right now on some of the meme coins that are on CoinMarketCap. What will it mean for PulseChain, right? If we got all these valuable coins in crypto, what does it mean for PulseChain? We've got some of these actually copied over on PulseChain as well, at least set up on pump tires and things like that. Now, Rack and Michelle, of course, is the one that's going to make this all happen, because we've got PulseChain Coinarchy WarRoom. which I think is a really great idea. Really way of galvanizing the old meme community, and instead of being disparate out there, actually coming into a combat zone. I think that really, really is a cool idea. So, yeah, the battle of the meme coins is going to be on, guys. The battle of the meme coins, and it's going to be severe because there's going to be value in it. It's not just going to be get out there rah rah cheerleader. It's actually if you win the war game, and I guess there's going to be different cycles on this. I don't know what the frequency will be. Will it be every week? That seems like a reasonable one. And then they're going to be burning, taking some of the funds from trading everything else, and going to be burning some of those coins, which means that the meme coin becomes more scarce, gets a bit more buy pressure. And every week, let's assume it's every week, seems like a reasonable time frame. That could be pretty exciting. People are competing, and then we'll see meme wars. What does that mean? Well, meme wars means marketing, guys. This is another potential marketing frenzy on PulseChain. And we're going to be talking about that later on the live stream with the monster thread and marketing promotions on PulseChain, and give you guys a little bit of insights into our market research. But guys, this is really a big deal. Imagine everyone out there really ramping up their meme wars. We got memes out there right now, but imagine that going up 10x, 100x, right? Because people out there just start really supporting their community and really going crazy on the memes. So we could have war memes, funny memes, silly memes. I mean, crazy memes, dark memes, all sorts of things out there. Could be pretty crazy, right? Could be pretty crazy with the old meme wars. So at the moment you might think, oh, I see memes here and there. But man, it might be constant. It might be constantly in your face now with this launching, and only potentially I have the date around the 12th of September. But even if it's a week later than that, it's still coming up very soon, right? Still coming up very soon. So pretty big deal. Now, Rackham was also, of course, Coinwell and Coinarchy going to be multi-chain. And we just saw that coin market cap rankings for the billion coins. We got 7 over $1 billion. What could we see? Now he's talking about what chains do you want to see. Now, obviously, the natural thing is to have the most, the chains with the most volume and the most, most velocity, and potentially maybe wallet growth is a little bit misleading. There'll be a lot of bots and stuff on some chains and things, but volume definitely a big deal there. So we would probably see Bitcoin, maybe or at least Ethereum, I guess, BNB, Solana, Tron, Hyperliquid with the big volumes, Chain, Avalanche. These have got big volumes, right? So all the big volume chains we could probably see coming up first, right? And it could be pretty huge. But of course, Coinarchy is going to have the meme wars, right? That's going to have the meme wars on it. Pretty awesome. Coinwell's going to have like lending and swapping and other things like listing and things. But Coinarchy there with the listings and meme wars could be pretty awesome, right? So excited about where that might go. And of course, it's getting closer and closer and closer, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of laying the land. I hope we've laid the picture of where we are with the memes. So let's get into the memes that I've got at the moment. So I've got 15 memes right now listed on here. Now, this is not meant to be an exhaustive list. So if I haven't got your team on here, don't hit me up and say he didn't cover our team. I did give the chance overnight, over the whole night. I posted that yesterday. If you've got a token you want on the list, then I'll put it on, and I've done that, right? So I put 3 tokens on the list. That's how many I got. So if people wanted to get me a meme, they could have, and so on. So there we go. And obviously that's subject to people being aware of it, but then I did post it, give some time frame there. Now we've got 15 meme coins on here, which I think is a good number, because we're going to review all these right now. So how are we doing for time? We're at 38 minutes on the hour, so we're doing pretty good. Now, what do we got here? We got Trump official, we got Teddy Bear, we got Doubt token, we got Teddy Bear again. But this is we've got Teddy Takeover at the top, and we got Teddy Bear, James Maria down at number 4. We got Pikachu there, recently launched by Firewell, big Firewell there, and apparently he's going to be supporting it. That was a comment I saw yesterday. We got Most Wanted, of course, the Richard Hart token there from Pump Tires. PCock, of course, with Liberty Swap, the big new on-chain bridge that we've got to 40 chains. Going to be very critical for the promotions that Richard Hart's doing, and of course came out of nowhere at the right time, right place. It all seems pretty coordinated, right? We've got P-Head there. There's one of the ones I added overnight. We've got Xavier from the big new influencer on PulseChain. Now, obviously, Richard Hart is really the biggest influencer at 350,000 followers, but we are attracting new influencers that aren't really crypto people, but are coming into crypto. And Xavier has 480,000 followers and has really been getting involved in the community. Seems to be a very genuine person and doing some good stuff there. So we're excited about that. We got Peppy, of course, that's been around for 6 months, and Pump Tires. So, like I said, some of those coin market cap ones, we do have copies over here, whether they're fork copies or Pump Tires. We've got Zendog, of course, that's been around for 6 months as well. That's been a pretty popular, multi-chain coin. We've got Briah there, of course, from Rack and Rochelle and Mrs. Rochelle. That's her dog. And of course, that is on the mix as well. So we're going to talk about that. We've got Mitchie, which has been around for some time. And so Mitchie is out there. And we've seen them doing some cool stuff there. So big shout out to that team, Icy and others. We've got Doge there, which is another copy there from Pump Tires. So we've got Pump Tires and what we got Peppy up here as well. And then we've got a Diddy there as well, which is another token that got added to the list overnight. So, we were listening and we've added them in. Now, this is not meant to be an exhaustive list, but these do cover a lot of the big market caps and volumes on the chain. And of course, there's some that are quite small as well. So if we actually sort this, we're going to do a little bit of sorting just to get some good numbers on here. So let's do that. And these if we go market cap, let's do that first of all. Now, obviously, you guys know market cap can be manipulated with supplies and things like that. But we do have a pretty good value on most wanted. So it's currently worth 22.8 million. And we got that at the moment. Then we've got Teddy Bear from James Maria. That is 10 million as well. We've got Dow token there sitting at 6.3 million. We got PCock, which is a relatively new arrival, right? 1 month. So these ones have been around for 6 months or over 2 years. PCock's been around for 1 month. And of course, that's 3.3 million at the moment. We've got Teddy Bear Takeover. This is backed by people like B Roots and Ian Einish and people like that. This is currently at 1.8 million. And then we got Peppy, of course, Pump Tires there at 1.4 million. We got Trump Official. Remember, the Pump Tires have generally 1 billion tokens. Remember that? They have 1 billion tokens generally. And also, occasionally, some of those tokens will be burned off depending on the activity of the team. So I don't know what you describe as a meme coins, because we can get lots of coins launched. They get pumped and dumped and forgot about. But then we have, how do you characterize what a meme coin is? Does it have to actually have an active community? And if it does, is that 100 people or is that 1,000 people? I mean, there's lots of things you can consider around a meme coin. But generally, if we got some volume, yes, if we got some activity out there, we can kind of just generally class them as a meme coin competition. And then we can sort of say, which is the one's going to be at the battle. Now we're going to find out, right? Because Coinarchy is going to have this WarRoom, right, for meme coins, and then the communities are really going to find out who's got the big community, who's got the most active community. Because you could have 1,000 people and they could be pretty inactive, right? Maybe only 50 of them are doing much. You could have 100 people, maybe all 100 of them are like FOMO, right? They're FOMO, so you got a 2-to-1 an advantage of the small team, right? So we're going to find out in the meme wars who's who. The other thing, of course, is one team might have 1,000 people, but they might have hardly anybody that's interested in doing memes, anybody that knows how to do memes, do any sort of thing visual or artistic. And you could have a team with 100 people, and there's like 50% of them are like full on into memes and animations and things like that. And so who's going to be out there flooding them out? You're going to see the small team, right? So the battle's going to be pretty interesting as well. So let's see whether size bias plays into play there. Obviously, we've got Peppy, been around for 6 months. Rail Pump Tires, 101.4 million, and we've got the Trump Official there at 1 million at the moment. So at the moment, this the most valuable one that I've seen so far is Most Wanted at 22.8 million. Now, what did we say about on the coin market cap was that we had 7 that were $1 billion or more. Now you can just discuss the supply numbers and who holds what and all that. That's another level of analysis. But just on the face of it, this is kind of where we are. Now, we also saw we got down to was it number 15 or something? They were still worth like 200 million. So we've still got a 10x even for, if we're going to get even into that sort of top 15 list, we've still got, a 10x required for most, right? Because it's currently 22. To get that to 200 million, it would need a 10x from here, right? So 2.2 cents would have to become, 20 cents or something like that. So this is kind of where we are heading with some of these projects here at the moment. Now, some of the other ones we've had is Trump Official. Obviously, there's Trump tokens out there galore, and we've got this at $1 million right now. So, is it going to do 100x and go to $100 million? Is there enough people in this community? Are they active enough? You can decide. Then we've had, fun tokens that are like Pikachu that just been launched 6 days ago from Firewell. He's indicated yesterday that he was, going to support this. So, was it just a pump and dumper, a bit of a play around? or is it something that he's going to support longer term? And he kind of indicated yesterday with a post. So you can go hunt that down, but that is out there too. We got Briah, of course, which has just had the reaffirmation from Rack and Michelle, and had a bit of confusion after the big rally, a bit of confusion, and that is back up there now too, sitting at 0005. And of course, that is currently $500,000. So he was saying, well, if the market cap goes to 400K, I'm going to be buying, and he wants to get in there. So that's pretty interesting when a whale gives away the market cap they're willing to buy in, right? Because it can be said that not necessarily that 400K would be actual trigger. You might buy higher than that or lower, whatever. But is that a trigger? How many X's does it mean that he's keen to get on Coinwell and stuff like that? So you can think about that yourself. That's something I talk about in Strategy Club. So if you haven't joined Strategy Club, links in the video description. Only $35 a month to join up with that. So join up today. In fact, I've got the monthly report coming out either today or tomorrow for that. So you're going to be good time for that. We've got Doge there, pump tires, 375K. We got Zendog, 366K. So, if you compare these to the mainstream coins, you can sort of do that judgment as well, comparisons. We've got Diddy, of course, which got added to the list overnight, 52K. So, man, that could arguably really fly. It hasn't got a lot of volume on it today, though. It did have a few supporters in the on X. But, yeah, this particular pair, at least this one here, which I think is the main one, it doesn't have a lot of volume. So, is that something that needs more activity? Diddy guys can talk about that in their Telegram. Then we've got Mitchie's been around for a long time, right? Mitchie's been around. And, of course, a great bunch of people in there. That is currently 36K. So let's see where that goes. We've got Xavier University from the bigger new influencer, the 480K. Only just getting into crypto, though. So he's going to give him at least 3 to 6 months to ramp up his knowledge and his impact on his followers. It doesn't just happen overnight, but he gets pretty high engagement already. Just got to get that education and conversion over, right? That's pretty much it. And it's 29K right now. They had a big move, and he's here to stay. You go to Telegram, he's here to stay. He's staying around. He's not just walking away. And he's going more guns, actually. He's getting more involved. So keep a lookout for that. We got P-Head here. This also got added overnight. It's been around for 25 days. So Xavier's been around for 18 days. P-Head's been around for 25 days. So relatively new. And its market cap's only $9,200 right now, but not a lot of volume on there at the moment, only $170. So that is the play there. So you have to decide. We got some low volume. So that was the market cap. Let's have a look at the liquidity. We're going to zoom by liquidity. We can see that most with the biggest market cap's got the most liquidity. Doubt is next. PCock is next. Teddy is next with 124K. Teddy Bear is after that. Pepe, pump tires there as well. So we've got how many? 6 out of these 15 have got over $100,000 in liquidity. Particularly on these pairs. There might be a few other pairs to each of these tokens, remember, but these are the main ones I picked off. Over 50, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 50,000, and that includes Briah right now, sitting at 56K. And of course, that's got the support of Rack and Michelle and Pikachu. There's seemingly, and we'll have to deep dive into that, but based on the comment I saw yesterday, got the support of Firewell. So we'll be watching out for that. And then, of course, the rest of them are all the way down to 2.4 thousand on the old Diddy there. Diddy's got a bit of work to do. Now they wanted me to add to the list, and I said I'll do it. Said if you can get a token that you like, I'll add it to the list and I'll talk about it. So I did do that. So there we go. All right, so let's jump back up here. So that is, we've looked at market cap, we'll look at liquidity. The other big thing, of course, is volume, right? So we're going to look at volume, and we can see that PCock is actually, at least in the last 24 hours, has got the biggest volume at 121,000. In fact, not only has it got the bigger volume, but it is almost 3 times the size there of most. So most is sitting at 37K. Teddy Bear from James Maria, who often has ability to flood a lot of liquidity through, although some people talk about a lot of extraction as well through the bridge. We got Briah there right now is at 28K, so it's pretty good. I mean, you think about it, Briah and PCock have only been around for a month, and both of these have got the higher volumes at the moment. We've got Pikachu there, 15K with Firewell's token. Obviously had a big sell-off and has sort of settled down a little bit, even though it's down a little bit today. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. We got Doubt token there with 13K. So we got 6 tokens over 10K volume. So it's not a lot. It's not big numbers. We've only got one coin at the moment, PCock, over 100K. And so you got to decide, can some of these other ones like Most, Briah, and things like that, can they do 100K plus? Can Teddy Bear? Who's going to be able to do that, right? Because you want a bit of turnover, bit of volume there to pump the bags. especially the volume versus the liquidity, right? That's really what's going to be moving things forward, right? So take note of that. The other thing, of course, you can also look at the number of makers in the play, right? People actually buying and selling, and you can see PCock at the top there, Teddy Bear, Briah, and then Most, and then Pepe there, and then Doubt. So they've all got over 100, Pikachu almost 100 as we move forward there. So that gives you a bit of an idea of stuff that's going on there as well. Looking at the new coins, of course, we've had 2 of these coins been around for over a year, and that's Teddy Bear and Diddy. And then we've got quite a few tokens that have been around for 6 months, typically all pump tires. So we've got Most all the way down through to Trump there, been around for 6 months there. Teddy Bear Takeover also pump tires, right? And so is Briah there, but they've been around for 4 months. We've got 2 coins been around for 1 month, Briah and, of course, PCock. And, of course, those are some pretty big players, we'd argue, backing those. And then we've got ones that have been around less than a month, P-Head, Xavier, and a Pikachu there from Firewell. So those are some of the metrics that we can just look off straight off the bat, just off Deck Screener. But we're going to have a quick look at we're going to go next level now into each of the individuals and have a look at some of the stuff that's going on here. Now, we've got a couple of comments in the chat first before we do that. Let's see who else would be here. Let's see here. We've got some comments. We've got Hexavator in house there. Hey, gang, good to see Hexavator. Big shout out. Who else is there? We're all talking about rugby league, so we'll leave that right now. All right, so Wookie says next year we might do a show. Next year, he says next year. Next year's today, Wookie. Next year's today. Why wait till next year? Why wait till next year? All right, so that is it. Put the pressure on, eh? Put the pressure on. So that is where we're at. Let's go look at Teddy Bear here. We're going to bring that up and have a look. So Teddy Bear, this is our first one we're going to look at here. So we've already gone through a lot of the metrics here, but 10 million market cap right now on Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear. It reminds me of the movie with the bear. Teddy, is it? 140k liquidity there, and we can see that buys 18k, sells 17k, so just slightly more volume there at the moment, and they don't have a lot of other details in here. Let's go have a look at the website. Let's see if they've got a website here as well, and see what's going on. So they've got a cool website, right? I mean, look, it's cool website there with the teddies, and quite an easy sell there as well. You got lots of artwork in there as well. So we're going to see a meme war, guys. We should see a lot of these things flooding through on X, right? So it's time for PulseChain with these meme wars, using Coinarchy and burning the supply. It's time to see PulseChain really take over X, right? Big time. Like we already, I think we got part of the market does, but I'm going to talk about that in the second live stream if you want to hear about some of the market analysis there. But this is really going to be a big deal, taking over crypto on X is by having meme wars. Meme wars are going to be huge, guys. It's going to attract a lot of attention. A lot of people on X love memes, whether they're crypto memes or otherwise general memes. It's a huge opportunity for PulseChain to really ramp it up. It's one of the things that we can do that's low-hanging fruit. I call this low-hanging fruit. So a really good initiative there from Rack and Michelle to do the Coinarchy WarRoom for the Battle of the Memes. I think that's a great idea. Really great idea. And then burning tokens, just the sweet, having that cherry on the top there, that sweet incentive there. So that's kind of that's their website right now. And so we could look at we're not going to Telegram. You can join the Telegram, of course, but we're going to do Twitter. And I'm going to post the link to each of these in the chat there. You obviously can check the contracts and everything else, but you can go do that. So these will all be candidates for the Coinarchy WarRoom, right? So that's why we're going through them. There's a bit of a teaser of what's possible, what you might see on the Coinarchy WarRoom, and we're going to find out who's actually a real active community, right? Who's active, real active community there. We can see this is Teddy Bear right now, right? So Teddy Bear there, got the hot girls. He's a teddy bear, got the money. He's got, this is the sort of stuff, the animations, this is the sort of stuff that we're going to see. Now, if we look at some of the views on these, right, that's a good indication, right? How active is the team? How influenced is this? It's got almost 900 people following here on X. They're getting, a couple thousand views on some of these posts, 1,000 there. How is this going to change over time with the WarRoom, right? How is it going to change? This one's got 774 views. How is this all going to play out as we move forward with this battle of the tokens, right? Going to be interesting. So yeah, I mean, these guys not too bad views there with the old Teddy. But remember, Teddy is one of the big ones, right? Oh, did I lose it? Teddy is one of the big ones, right? So it is sitting at the 10 million market cap. So let's switch this to market cap again. It's sitting at number 2. So if they're getting 500 to 1500 views, what do they need to get? They need to get to 10,000 views, right? They need to keep ramping up, and maybe the WarRoom is going to help big time with that. So you've got to see. This is sort of some of the insights that we're kind of getting from this, right? So that is Teddy Bear, and of course that's the James Maria one. So we'll post that. That's the second most biggest market. Let me let's copy that over. Copy, and we're going to put that. I'm not sure what's happening with my keys here, but that is what do we say? Teddy Bear, Teddy Bear, or Bear as it's called, Bear. So let's push that in. That is the first one. That is number 1. So we've got to put 1 here, right? Because we've got 15. 1, and it's not in ranking order, of course, but that is number 2 market cap. So that is the Bear. So everyone's getting fair coverage. Let me have a drink. All right, so save your comments. I'm going to get into your comments, but let me know, what your pros and cons about each of these tokens as we go. Actually, let me know, because I'll really be keen on that. So let's see if we've got any comments about that. No comments about that. Everyone's talking about rugby league, which it's not a sports channel, guys. Not sports channel. So let's talk about memes today. So get in there and let us know. People say, "Oh, you don't talk about these tokens," and then they come in and talk about rugby league. What can I do? I can only do so much. A man can but try. All right, so let's get into the next one. We've got most wanted. So we're going a little bit backwards here because I had it in the wrong order. We're going to go most wanted, which is the biggest one by market cap, $22 million. $22 million. And we got what do we got there? $22 million, 539K liquidity. This is kind of one of the more decent ones, right? And we got 37K in volume. We can see that we got slightly more selling, 2K more selling today. And we can see this chart right now, right? So let's do the log there. I've got to make sure I focus on the chart too. That's the chart right now. So, you're kind of buying at a good range here right now on the old meme coin. Let's see where this goes. All right. Valiant says meme wars is a brilliant idea. Sounds like fun and could even bring in people from other chains. 100%. That's why I think it's that's why I want to do the show today, because this could be one of the key things, just one of the major things, the low-hanging fruit that could really ramp up a PulseChain promotions and marketing, right? Rich is doing this marketing. They come home and they say, "Oh man, this community is so vibrant. Look at, they got like all these different meme coins communities that are really active, getting out, doing a lot of promoting, right?" Because a lot of people will often say, "Oh, we want either a big influencer to do it," but bigger influencers can only do so much. They're very much impact players, influencers, right? Unless they're doing it all the time. Otherwise, they're just impact players. And then, of course, who else is doing promotions? Well, just the community generally. Are they highly active? Are they lowly active? We're going to talk more about that in the next live stream on the Monster thread. So, yeah, good idea, Valiant. I like it too, and that's why we're coming it. We're going to cover it more and more as we go, as we get closer and closer. All right, so that's kind of where we are with the most token. Let's have a quick look at the website. We've got any details in here? Yeah, they have. They got Richard Hart, of course, which you can't go too wrong with that, with the red notice for Interpol. Pretty funny. The community claimed ownership for this token in May 12, so it's only been around for a little while. Community claim, nobody wants to be the least wanted. Richard Hart's official meme coin deployed on pump tires. So there we go. And tires by the same wallet that created Pump and Trump. So these are all associated to the Richard Hart. That's basically the idea there that's implied. Nobody wants to be the least wanted. Richard Hart's official meme coin deployed on Pump and tires, the same wallet that did Pump and Trump, which we're going to be talking about too. I haven't actually got Pump on here, but we're going to do Trump at least. So that is some of the stuff. Let's go to the website, see if they've got a website. Have they got a website? Let's have a look. This is number 2, guys. Number 2. So that's just referencing back to Pump tires. So no website there. So, boo. It's good being on Pump tires, but come on, guys, need a website. So I didn't say I was going to necessarily be, be just supporting of it all. If this is the most valuable meme coin right now, 22.3 million, arguably, right? I mean, you could say PGC, but I haven't included PGC and other ones like that because they've got DAOs and other things like that. You can decide how much utility makes other things. Now, they do have memes because they've got aliens and UFOs, so you could include those. That doesn't mean you can't. But it's that haven't been included today. So yeah, we got good old Most there, 22 million. Need to do some work on their website out there. Come on, guys. And of course, let's have a look at their X here. Maybe they're making it up for a little bit in the X. They've got to Richard Hart, right? So I mean, arguably it's okay, but they don't really have an organized community except for Telegram, right? So Telegram's probably where it's all happening, and so forth. But they really do need to get on X and other stuff like that. So yeah, and all of these could arguably go onto TikTok, right? They've got to go do TikTok, post on TikTok as well. All right, so that's some of the stuff happening right there with the old most. I'm going to post that in the chat as well. So this is number 2. And bam, that is the link there. Obviously, they all have Telegram, so we're not covering that because I'm not showing Telegram, but that is a most number 2 there. And that is actually the most valuable one. I should probably have that in the other order, but this is just the order that we're covering them. So that is most. The next one, of course, is a doubt token. Let's have a look at this. So this is $6.1 million. And let's see, that's what the numbers are here. We have a quick look at the chart. This chart actually looks quite healthy, doesn't it, compared to the others? Now you've got to decide who's actually involved in this project too. Are there market makers inside these meme communities, right? You know what I'm talking about? So you've got to take into account every single chart has different ownership structures, different founding, who founded it, different history. Have they got people with big pockets? That sort of thing. So, just take into account there's a lot more details we're not covering, and maybe we don't know. We don't know. So you might know more about one community than others here. So anyway, we've got 6 million market cap. So this is number 3. Liquidity 284k, 13k volume right now. They had some big nice little candles here in volume, getting up to 151k. Look at that. So but it was a lot of wicks, right? Big selling out stuff. So little dump fest on that beautiful chart. Pretty good chart. I mean, who can argue with that? And this is where stories are made, right? Where there's doubt, there's opportunity. Doubt on PulseChain is a token designed to pump on the back of non-believers. So there we go. Let's see if they've got a website. Let's go have a look. Bam. All right. So website there, doubt token. They do. They've got their own website there. They've got the charts. There we go. So that's their website right now. Got some details, how to buy, and so on. So there we go. Informants there. So that is the doubt token. So they're out and about. Let's see if their Twitter is in play as well. I have to. The Twitter keeps opening up another Chrome browser. I have to fix that up. But that is doubt token. They got 1,400 followers. How was their post doing? How their post doing there? Well, their doubt token. So they had that. They posted a Donald Trump one here. They got 166,000 views on that. That's been around June the 16th. Now they've had good engagement too, which suggests that that may be a lot of organic stuff in there with this. So that's looked pretty good. What else have they got? That's doubt token there. There's 300 in this one. A repost. This one here at 185. What else? A doubt token. They got a repost there. Let's see what else there. 28, 300 on that. So they need a lot of work, right? They need a lot more work in terms of their X social media. They had that one big post, and the rest of them here, a couple hundred posts, right? But the chart still looks pretty good, and maybe they got market makers behind it. You can decide yourself there. But yeah, low views on the post. So a lot of work to be done there. Now, this isn't necessarily criticism of the projects, but this is just saying this is where we're starting, right? This is where we're starting. Then we get the Coinarchy WarRoom. Will that be a key catalyst for getting people to lift their activity? And of course, imagine all these teams lifting their activity on PulseChain. It's like super marketing on X or on TikTok or on it really does ramp things up a lot. So that's kind of why we're talking about these numbers. So that is doubt token. So I'm going to post that in the chat there too. That is number 3. Don't doubt it. It's there. So there we are, doubt token. Let me fix up the spelling there. Don't forget to share the channel around as well. If you guys are loving the content of covering memes, people say, cover more detail. We're going to cover the detail today, but this is very important actually because there's going to be massive, potential promotion, I believe, with meme coin bonanza. We know meme coins are the hyper category in crypto. Love them or like them, hate them or whatever. They tend to take off when the base loads get rich. When ETH and the main coins start taking off, meme coins go at a leverage, right? You got to be in the right ones though. Got to still be in the right ones, but man, it is crazy. So that is a Liberty. Sorry, it's doubt token. Sorry, not Liberty. Next one is PCock. So this is Liberty. PCock here, and this is number 4. And let me get rid of that. So this is number 4 here. Let's have a look at the charts. Only been around for a little while. And this is where we are. So 00038, and we can see that chart's looking a bit weak at the moment. PulseChain's weak though, and let's have a look at the ratio to Pulse. That gives us a better idea. It's still weak too. So yeah, definitely had a bit of a sell-off here, despite being backed, support from Liberty Swap. It's got a 3.2 million market cap, 151k. Is this buying the bottom? Are you buying the bottom right now? I guess you can decide that. And 120k volume. So obviously one of the better performers in volume on the meme coins right now. In fact, I think it's the best one, wasn't it? So yeah, that is the play. Now, do they have a Twitter? Well, they don't have a website. So is it time for PCock to have a website? You decide. I mean, they do. Obviously, Liberty Swap has a website, but PCock doesn't seem to have a website. They have a Telegram. Let's go have a look for the X count. So you see what I mean? We're doing a bit of an inventory here, a bit of a survey to see what's going on. So Liberty Swap there, they go to Liberty Swap, which is fine. They're the ones backing it. So that is where they got. So and Liberty Swap does pump out lots of PCock, right? So they're doing that. So that's fine. And of course, they're getting lots of views. They blew up pretty quickly on the back of the chain. So this has got a natural utility support, and they've got 12,500 followers now, and they get pretty good views, generally speaking, on a lot of their posts. And I'm just trying to find PCock ones. There's a little PCock bird there, 2,000 views on that. And so on. So, let's see what else they got in here. The PCock. They got lots of their Liberty ones there for the swap there. There's some more. If you don't buy Hex and PulseChain, we kill this bird, which is pretty funny. That's exactly what we're talking about. So these guys didn't muck around. They got onto the memes and pushed it out, and they had 4,800 views on that. So a lot more views than what we saw with Doubt Token and the first one we posted, which I can't remember what it was, but we're going to go up here. I'm going to cheat, which is beer token. So this is these guys don't take very long. In fact, they're always quick onto these things, and so on. So that is excellent. So that's excellent. That's what we want to see more of that. So Liberty Swap is going to be potentially right off the bat a very strong contender for meme wars on Coinarchy WarRoom. That is pretty obvious, right? So they've got lots of strengths in there. But probably the most important thing, regardless of their size, is that they're very quick to getting out the memes. Richard put out a meme, and then, of course, meme advertising, and then these guys went straight to work and got that out very, very quick there 3 hours ago. So look at that. And they even got the old dog one there from Richard. So doesn't muck around there. All right, so kind of cool. That is a Liberty Swap, looking pretty good. And I think that was all we're going to have a quick look at the site here. No real details on that. Community claimed ownership for this token. August the 2nd, Liberty Swap Finance is in charge now. How about that? Official Liberty Swap mascot. You can't say it more clearer than that, right? Can't say it more clearer than that. So that is a PCock there and looking pretty good. So where does it get to us there? It gets us to the old, we're going to get to PCock, which we haven't. I actually put the chart there, boy. Where I put the chart? Let me have a look. 3. No, I haven't. So we're going to do the chart there as well on PCock. That is number 4. PCock. I forgot to do the dollar signs, but that's fine. Bam and bam, bam. We'll just do 1. There we go. That is PCock, guys. So we've got Doubt Token, and then we've done number 4 is a PCock. There we go. And Liberty Swap back in that one. Official. How about that? Pretty powerful. And already straight out of the gate, we've just had a quick review of them. And of course, not criticized necessarily where they're going to be in the future, just where they are right now. And of course, how they helping promote PulseChain, how they promote their meme coin, how they are going to be potentially performing in the WarRoom. Let's see. Now things can change once the WarRoom's there. People can galvanize and say, hey, we're going to fight for this. And suddenly we get all these teams really active. And we have a meme coin boom on PulseChain. One of the key things we know is going to be important for the bull market, because meme coins are the hyper category, right? Right, so that is PCock. Let's go back into the next one. Now, obviously, PCock there is market cap is 3.2 million. We got Teddy Takeover. There's number 5, and we notice is backed typically by people like B Roots and Ian Heinisch and people like that. I don't know how much they've been promoting it recently, but this is the chart. Now, obviously, it had a nice little run up, and it's had 2 little run ups. Had lower highs though. Currently sitting at 1,800 of a penny. And let's have a look. The market 1.8 million, 124k liquidity, 1.5k volume, not a lot of volume right on this right now. So really struggling on the volume. I don't know how much they're promoting it right now, but that is where we are. Teddy is all about paying homage to the endearing Bitcoin beer from Richard Hart's live streams. Many consider Teddy Bear the mascot of PulseChain. You guys remember Richard Hart with the golden, wearing the golden outfit and everything gold, and he's holding the gold teddy bear. I guess it's a little bit like that. After a rocky past, we are taking over the rumbling roar, free from bad actors and shady mint functions. So there we go. So what do they have? Do they have a website? They do. at the moment. They have a website, so let's have a quick look at that. And we saw that James Maria's beer token had a good website. This is excellent. Look at this. This is excellent too. So look at that. Pretty cool. Always pretty much competing. But man, the artworks is next level for the old teddy bear. And they got that with Richard Hart with his teddy bear there. Is that Louis Vuitton teddy bear? I don't know. Let me know. But they got the teddy bear there, and they got all the different things on there. Even how to buy, right? Even how to buy. That's very cool. I think, this should be a feature that we have for all the meme coins, is actually, if they have a website, how to buy, because that's just more places people would learn how to get onto PulseChain, right? The more we have that on all the websites, the better it is for onboarding. So it's not just about promoting with the memes, but also having nice, easy ways to actually onboard to PulseChain. All right, so that's kind of cool. They got the cool website on that, on the old teddy bear. Now, what else they got? They got we're not going to Telegram, but they got Telegram. Let's go to Twitter, X account, and have a look at that. So this is their one here. So, bling, bling, great imagery, right? Great imagery. They got 867 followers. So obviously all these accounts need to get more followers. Obviously Liberty Swap's got an advantage because they're, they've just blown up recently, and they're bringing 40 chains. They're basically a bridge to PulseChain. So it's an already advantage, but, onwards and upwards for this. And of course, their artwork's pretty cool. We could see 12,000 views for this post. That was on the 8th of April. It's been around for a few months, but they got 12,000 on. That's pretty good, right, for a channel that size. What else we got going? Lots of memes out there. 30th of August there. They got 313 views on that one. Let's look further down. A few of these. We got nice, cool memes there. Good morning there, 29th, and they got 500 views on that. So obviously, got some good memes. There's Moon King, of course, one of the big influencers. He's got 114,000 followers, and he is he's typically a maxi for this. I'm just trying to see. This he's got on this description though, but he's typically a promoter. Teddy bear there, look at that. So sell now, quite low. It's 28th. They've had 500 views. So obviously they need a bit of a booster there. It'd be good to get them to like 2,000-3,000 views range, so that they can work on that. But they've definitely got cool memes out there as well. So it's kind of cool. On the old, we can see 27th of August there. We got Moon King talking about Teddy there. So we got 4,400 views on that. So onwards and upwards. So there we go. Obviously, the official account's got supporters. Some have a lot of influencers. Some have a lot of community members. Some others don't, right? So that's another variable we're not, that you're not taking into account. But that is the old teddy bear, teddy bear. I would like to say it like the actual beer from the movie, but that's just the way it goes. So that's number 5, I think, isn't it? Number 5. So number 5 is Teddy, I guess, Teddy. And bam, there we go. So we're 5 down. We've got 10 more to go, guys. 10 more to go. So there we go. And we were doing an hour and 12. So it's going to be a long live stream. We've got another at least, 15, 20 minutes to go. Maybe we'll see how we go. So that is Teddy. Now, next one is Peppy. And Peppy in the house. This has got a market cap 1.3 million. So still pretty good market cap. We're going to get rid of the transactions and this chart here. So all of them have got quite different charts, haven't they? All of them got different profiles in the chart there, but this one here looks like it's had a pretty good recovery, hasn't it? A pretty good recovery here. So yeah, look at that, $1.3 million market cap, 210 million liquidity, 6.6k volume. So actually doing better than the Teddy one we just saw there, at very low volume. They got any description here? They do. Community claimed ownership for this token on the February the 4th. It's kind of cool to see the community take over. When they launch on the old pump tires. Official Richard Hart PulseChain PP meme launched by the same wallet as well. I think there's how many Richard Hart coins are there like that? There's like 12, is there something like that? 12, 15 or something like that. The official Richard Hart PulseChain meme launched by the same wallet that launched pump tires. So there we go. So that is where we're at right now, and they only have a Telegram. So they've got no website. They should though, right? They should have a website. Yeah. So this is not me, telling people off. This is saying this is the obvious, right? They should have a website, should have an X account. They've got a Telegram though. So yeah, unless it's certainly not showing on here. Now, obviously, you typically have to pay. Was it $400, $300, $400 to get yourself listed on Deck Screener? So that's a community thing to get that paired off. And I've already put some stuff here. So yeah, adding more socials on there, very important there, especially when you got a Peppy, which is one of the big branded memes, right? We saw that on CoinMarketCap. Very important there. So this is Peppy. I think they've got a bit of work to do around the socials there, and obviously we can't see what they're doing on media because they're not on X. So There we go. Maybe their influencers, community people are doing promotions. So you can decide on that. But that is just some quick off the cuff points about that. So it's Pepe. And as we know, Pepe is one of the main valuable ones. And why not PulseChain? Why not PulseChain, right? So that is Pepe coin there. We got a comment about that. So we posted the Teddy one. That's the Teddy one there. We posted the Pepe number 6. And then we have also Valiance in here as well. Great point on the buy button, Superman. Yeah, I think it's pretty important, right? How to step by step. And everybody should have it, right? Just makes it so much easier. If someone says, here's about one coin because you did good promotion, they can jump on and say, oh, this is how I actually buy. Typically people are going to say that because not everyone's savvy like you guys out there, right? That know about DeFi and, that's kind of the most complicated end of being a user on crypto, right? Is knowing how to do DeFi. And we're not talking about, developers of blockchain. We're just talking about, sort of advanced expert users in crypto, typically DeFi people, right? Because we are used to crossing chains and crossing bridges and all sorts of other stuff, right? Setting up wallets and all the rest of it. All right, so that is kind of where we are right now on the old Pepe. There is Pepe there. All right, let's go to the next one on by market. We're going by market, right? So except for the first two because I didn't have it in the right order. Trump official, right? Trump official, $1 million market. So this is the last of the $1 million right now, and this is Trump official. That's been around for 6 months, and so let's have a quick look at this one. This is number 7 on our list. We got 15, and of course a lot of them are the top ones there. Now I have excluded ones like PTC, which do have meme coins, but they're kind of DAOs and other things. You can always decide what attributes you think qualify as a meme coin. I do qualify them as meme coins in the sense, but we're just getting more pure meme coins without much utility added on to them, although some of them clearly do have a little bit of potential functionality coming up, like Briah, which we're going to talk about soon. But this is the daily one here for Trump. And let's have a look at this. It's got 1 million market cap, 86K liquidity, but only $482 of volume. So you can see in the volume candles, not a lot of volume coming through on the old Trump yet. Now, obviously, Trump's going to be a pretty mega theme, at least for the first 2.5 years of his presidency. Because then the other half, people say, well, he's going to be out within a year, and who knows who's going to be the president next, right? Hopefully, they're going to be another good Republican would be great. Imagine building an empire and then handing it over to the Democrats. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. And this is the risk, right? This is the risk. There's always the downside risk, right? Trump official, 45 and 47 president of the United States. The golden age of America begins right now. So that's kind of cool little narrative there. They will be competing, of course, with narratives on other chains. So of course, with the official one on Solana, etc. They don't have any social media here. Look at this: no social media, and no website, no X account, and of course, they've got no Telegram here. That's here. So that's a problem. And so, yeah, I mean, how well is it going to do compared to all the other meme coins that do have all those and a community behind them that's more active, and then going out and shilling soon. Now, at the moment, the chart looks fine, but how will it look relative to the others once all that starts happening? That's the question. Or is the name Trump just big enough to pumpity pump? And so far, it looks like it is, right? So the market's sort of taking that narrative independently. So we're going to see how that goes too. So that is the Trump token there. Number 7 is in heaven. And it's the last one that is over the $1 million mark on the list that we've got here. And the only ones I really kept off that might be on here are a few utility tokens, DAO tokens, and things like that, as you can see. So you can decide whether they should be on the list or not. It's Trump number 7. So let's bring it up. We're doing well, guys. We're doing well. We're almost halfway. In fact, we're coming up to halfway right now. It's going to be a super mega long live stream. But hey, this is the way it goes sometimes. And we're doing 2 live streams today. So PulseChain fanatics in the house. All right, so let's jump over to there. In fact, I'm not going to talk about the monster thread right now, but we will do, because we're doing a whole separate live stream. I won't do Unity now either, or Taurus, because we've still got quite a bit to go with the meme coins. So we're going to jump out all those. I'll talk about those in the second live stream later on. The next one is Pikachu. Its market cap we're dropping down a lot now. We're jumping down from 1 million down to 560K. So we're basically almost half. And this is by Firewall, right? Who's about to launch Solid X, probably mid-September. And X game, right, coming up. We're excited about it. It's going to be huge. Multi-chain, big influences, base chain in particular. big money spent on marketing, a big referral, 30% referrals, all that sort of stuff, SolidX staking, lots of cool things coming. In fact, there's a lot more coming for those that are potentially stakers of SolidX, because potentially credit cards and bank accounts and all sorts of perks coming for this. This is not, Firewell's not mucking around with the offerings there for SolidX. So that's coming up as well. So Pikachu, he did indicate that he was going to back it. I should have pulled up the post on that, but that is definitely the case. In fact, we might pull up SolidX here as well. But this is the chart right now for Pikachu. Was it just a fun pump and dump? We've seen, kind of do that before, particularly around the Somi coin. Remember Somi? And that was drama, right? That was drama, that one. Not for Somi, he enjoyed that one, but that is for the actual market. So at the moment, we got the daily candles here, only been around for a little bit, had a nice big pump, right? Big pump. It was supporting that pump there, and then it got all dumped all the way down, and then it's back up at the middle range now. So it's not doing too bad, 0056. What else? So we're down 7.7% now. Liquidity, 57K, market cap 560, volume 15K. So a lot better volume than some of the other memes that we've seen. At the moment, 15K on that, but still early days in the life of Pikachu. Pikachu there as well. I'm not sure of the comedy about that, but Pikachu is the first broke mom to ever exist. More broke moms coming soon on the FW trenches there. Now it does have a picture, right? So this is the picture. That's it there. It's got a Pokemon that's got a Jewish kipper. That's called a kipper. You know what that little hat is, a kipper. And then it got a little, I guess, a Torah Bible there. And then there's the Western Wall there in Jerusalem. All right. What else? We've got no socials on here. So Firewell, you guys need to get your community going. We've got no Telegram, no X account, no website. So work to be done. But is that part of something coming up? We'll see. How much is what support? Now that is kind of where we're going there. So that is the old dick screener for a Pikachu. Bam. All right. So let me make sure I spell it right. Pikachu. Pikachu. And that is the chart for that one. Wookie says two. What is it? Wookie says 2 streams. Let's go, Jedis. Absolutely, let's go. It's a big day in the office today, covering the old PulseChain. That is the Pikachu one in number 8. Needs some work there. Isn't it interesting as you go through each of these, you can see what they need, what they don't need, right? I'm just doing this live, right? I haven't gone through these at all. So this is just happening live. The only thing I did was pick up the list and then add in stuff that people would ask me to add in. That's all I've done. So there we go. That is Pikachu. That is number 8. Number 9. So we're well on our way towards almost 2/3 here. Is Briah token. Another whale, right? Well, first we had Pikachu from Firewell. Now we've got a Briah there, not founded by Rack and Michelle or Miss Rack and Michelle, but actually supported. And this is now very clear that their support is in here pretty strong. So this is Briah token. And of course, this is going to benefit directly from Coinwell and potentially Coinarchy as well. So it's got a little bit of advantages, just like we saw with Liberty Swap, giving PCock some advantages. This is also going to have some advantages here as well. Now, the chart, of course, had a big pump, then had a big dump, and now it's started to move up as well. And of course, the funny thing we covered the other day was Rackham was saying that this looks like we've had the old S wave, right? The S wave, and that we're coming up to MP wave, MPC wave, I think it was. So yeah, that means a potentially huge run up in the chart price here. We also know that he was keen on buying it for. Let me just quickly get the words right here. He was looking at buying at 400K market cap. Well, we know where that is, right? So whether that's what he actually does is another question, right? So I mean, saying one thing is one thing, but 400K. That's around about here, right? So that is around about there. So presumably it doesn't mean he doesn't have to buy above it, right? So if it does bounce down to 400K, arguably if he's still doing the same plan, then he will be buying up the coin, right? Because he's expecting the S wave here, right? The S wave, and then of course moving into the big move there into what they call the QRS wave. Yeah, the QRS, like I said, the QRS wave, right? So the Q part is a little bit of a dip here, as we can see. So a little bit of a dip and then a takeoff, right? So whether that dips right now, right? That dips right now is another question. That dip could have been here. That dip could have been here, but would we have another dip? Is another question. And of course, that would mean that we're off to the moon after that, right? So up to the right there. But this is not really about pricing, but just to give you an idea of some of the interest there. Now, what do we got here? We got 525k, so just below Pikachu right now, and we got liquidity at 56k. Volume is pretty good though, twice as much as we see on the old Pikachu, 29k. What else we got going on here? Do we have some details? We do. Born from PulseChain royalty, inspired by the legendary Belgian Malinois of Rack and Rochelle. And of course, Mrs. Rack and Rochelle there with a Z is the one that looks after that dog and raising it and I think training it to help out. Crypto star and leading figure on PulseChain, Whaleback PulseChain. Now, Whaleback means Rack and Rochelle, and of course, Miss Rack and Rochelle, Pulse born. As well, born on PulseChain, engineered for crypto domination. Now, Rackham has talked about a couple of weeks ago about making this number one meme coin, and I think he's reaffirmed that recently in the last couple of days. Let's have a look at the website. Obviously, the token there, the dog, cute as. The dog's growing up, though. The dog grows up, becomes an adult dog, right? But still very much in the cute phase there, jumping around, playing around. So kind of cool if you've seen the videos. Let's have a look at the website and see what's going on with that. We've got briahpulse.meme, so it does have a website. And it's got the meme there with the dogs. Now, what they want to do is ramp up the number of memes. The other thing that we know is that Briah dog is going to be in Heartwood Dog anime series for PulseChain. So that's going to be another big advantage that they have. And we can see a lot of meme coins coming out here. So that is the website. So looking good. So tick for that. X account. Let's have a look at the X account. Bam. We are on a down day on PulseChain, so that also impacts the charts that we're looking at. But let's have a look at the X space. They do have their own X space on Telegram as well. Sorry, on X. That's got 734 followers at the moment, so keep a lookout for that. There's kind of benchmarks, right? We're going to benchmark these numbers. You can always come back to this video and say what happened after Coinarchy WarRoom in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, right? And you can say, well, this is what the numbers were at the beginning, and we can kind of check how things go. Now, obviously, we got Rack and Michelle out there 6 hours ago, stamping his approval on here. Coin, Briah, Telegram, join. 1,700 views on that in 6 hours already. So it's pretty cool. We had Briah there itself, Briah official, and it's an awesome community aiming to amend broken bridges one at a time there. And so that all looks like they've got some unity. You're going to need unity if you're going to have a big X army doing memes. So you'll be all on the same page, right? And you got to be memeing out there, non-stop memeing, meme, everywhere memes. Meme. All right, so you can make songs out of it and everything. I mean, that's the thing with memes, right? So they've had 500 views on this. So obviously they're looking to ramp up those views, 500, and so on. So just keep a note of all these view numbers, by the way, because the reason why I'm saying them for good reason, right? This is kind of a baseline, but we got people out there going. And I'm going to talk about this in the Monster thread in the next live stream. But they're saying, everything's fine and dandy. You don't need promotion so much. Everyone's promoting, but are they? There's a question. We're going to talk about that in the next live stream. I'm not going to give too much away, but that is where we are right now. So anyway, they're on the move. So at least they're organized, and this is the baseline to go to, right? This is the baseline. So that is the old Briah token, and we can see Rack and Michelle there out posting about it, which is pretty cool. So that is number 9. That is Briah. Briah there. Or it's spelled Briah, but it's Briah. Yeah, we've talked about this many times, so I don't know why I go on about it, but there we go. I'll get myself in trouble, I'll get myself in trouble. All right, so that is the old Briah there. So big shout out to Mrs. Rack and Michelle. She's doing a great job out there. I've seen her posting out and about. So there we go. And nice little videos of the dog as well. That is it. So Briah token number 9 is alive. So that's another 500,000 meme coin. But if we're at 400K, we're on 400K, how many X's and Rack and Michelle wants to buy at that point? How many X's do you think it might go to? And that is an interesting question, right? You can answer that, or you can join Discord and hear my thoughts on it. So if you want to join Discord Strategy Club, join up today. Links in the video description. We got Fast Abdul in the house there. I'm here for the tech. Not only are you here for the tech, but you're here for meme coin number 10. You arrived just in time, Fast Abdul. So meme coin number 10. Let's get into it. You just missed the Briah commentary, but here we are. We're going to the next one, and that is a Dogecoin there. Number 6 pump tires. Let's get into it. Number 10 on our list today, and we'll post this early on the chat there just so people can see it. Doge, and here we go. So we're getting down into the smaller market caps now, though, and more pump tires, and so on. So only so many tokens make it from pump tires, and only so many ones that make it a PulseX from pump tires make it actually on the chain, right? So you got to pick winners, and that's very important. And in fact, we've gone through the metrics here. I could make some very quick assessments on what we've already talked about so far, but here it is, number 10, Doge as well. So you need to make your own analysis as well. And sometimes the glaring obvious is always good to go with, right? The glaring obvious there. There's the Doge. All right, so let's get into the charts here. Look at what this looks like since it's been launching. This is on the daily chart. And so we can see it looks pretty similar to that last one of the other charts we just looked at, actually. But here we go. We're at that's the ratio to pulse, right? Isn't it? Yeah. That's the market. That's the market. We've got price. This is the price USDC. There we go. There's the price USD. Let me log that as well. Log, bam. So that's the chart right now. So that's actually not looking too bad, is it? That's looking not too bad. And I think, was that a little bit like the Trump one? No, Trump was even better, right? Trump one was kind of up and to the right there. But we got 375K market cap, 56K liquidity. We got 5,800 volume. So on the lower end of the volume, we saw that Briah and Pikachu was 15 and 30K respectively. So it's down 5,800. Let's see what this details are. It says a community claimed ownership on this in July the 20th. So we're seeing a lot of these tokens get claimed by the community. So that's kind of cool. Community has nowhere to gather and build. The current Telegram link leads to a chat. That's one of the comments there. That has nothing to do with Doge, and Doge is discussed in there. So just take a warning out of that, and it's not a good start, right? Doge, the greatest meme coin ever, is now on PulseChain, launched by Richard Hart. So there we go. We are going to freshen up the banner by paying homage to Dogecoin there. We are also working on building a website, gathering a new Telegram chat, etc. So take note of that. So let's have a quick look at that's the Telegram there. Let's go look at the X account that's tagged on here. Let's have a look. So this only has 123 on this one, 123 followers. Is there any reposting of Doge? There's a little one there, 100 views. 30th there, 472 views on this one. That's the 30th of July. So on this particular one, at least, only a couple hundred views. So a lot of work to be done there. I think we can all agree. A lot of work to be done there. And the warning down here, you'd have to join Telegram to find out more details. The folks who did the Dexter have not active or open on the community. We are working on building a website. So it looks like there's a work in progress on here. So that's good news. We're work in progress there, and you can go and find out more details if that's something you want to do. So that was the Doge. That's number 10. We're going to get into number 11, guys. We're up to an hour and a half on the live stream. Looks like we're going to be doing a 2-hour live stream. And I'm doing a second one later on today. That's going to be amazing. PulseChain promotions, marketing, and the monster thread, of course, publications. We're going to talk about that. All right, let's get up to the next one. Is Zendog, number 11. Zendog, did I say it right? Zendog, I don't know. But let's look at this chart. So that's this chart, very unusual looking chart. Just got pumped recently. And what else? We've got the market cap 358K, pretty similar to the last one, Doge. We got 61K liquidity, $2,200 in volume. Not a lot of volume. Didn't have a lot of volume back here. In fact, $2 million worth. What the hell? $2 million when it got pumped there, but now it's down at 2,000. So what's that? $2 million down to 2,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so there we go. That's what's happening here. And let's see if there's any details here. Zendog. Welcome to Zendog. This isn't just a meme. Zendog is a frequency. Born from the 369 album and featured a track Quantum Leap. It was created to amplify Zero Trust.nexus, a mission to expose fake DeFi on other chains and guide misled users back to the safe ground, back to PulseChain, back to real DeFi there. No admins, no backdoors, etc. Let's have a look there. Rooted in rich art wisdom. Got a few quotes there, and etc. So that is Zendog meme coin there. They do have a website for look at. That's the picture. That's the old Zendog there smoking. Is he smoking some magic lettuce? I don't know, whatever. You guys are so good. But that is pretty much it. It's a friendly show. It's a family show. We're going to keep it friendly. So let's go to the website and have a look at this, zendog.io. Is this the official one? And it is powered by PulseChain. It's a pretty good little website. It's got sound effects as well. You can put that on, ride the wave to euphoria. So actually, they've done a decent little job of this. So that's not too bad, is it? That's not too bad. Zendog announced. Zendog there. What I say, I'm just looking at a few of these others. 85% burned OA wallet. There we go. Burn address is the largest holder. So that's a good start. Like I say, burning will probably become one of the big themes. And as you guys know, you do have to look at this token supply. We haven't done that during today's live stream. But of course, the Coinarchy WarRoom being launched by Rack Michelle will have burning for the best coin. Now, presumably, it's going to be every week. I'm just guessing, but probably every week. Could be a different frequency, so don't blame me if it is, because I'm just guessing. A week does sound like a good time frame for a burning cycle. But that is that one on. Let's have a look at the X account and see whether that's actually doing some magic letters, doing some magic sauce there. Magic letters. And let's have a look at that. So got 544 followers, so still relatively small, but decent. 500, better than some of the other ones we've seen. Let's see what else they got here. 28th of February, 1st of September. They got some reposts here. I'm just trying to look for some reposts. They got reposts there as well. Zero Trust there, the old, I guess, Zen dog. We've got another dog, right? So we've got dogs, cats, aliens, Pikachus around. So yeah, Zen there. We've got some reposts there as well. 1,000 views on that. We've got the PulseChain trending. Zen now trending at 500 views. Trending there as well. Zero there. I'm not sure if they're part of the founder. 4,500 views. So I mean, they're not doing too bad. They got some pictures there. Meme coin sitting with PCock. So some nice little stuff there. Now, arguably on the WarRoom on Coinarchy, they're going to be at war, right? But they got 1,000 views. So I mean, not too bad. Not too bad. And of course, it's a good baseline to start. So hats off to the Zen dogs there. But the volume's low, $2,200. So they got a bit of work to do. And I don't know how active their Telegram is. You can go check it out. So I'm not actually particularly in. I'm in a lot of Telegrams. I'm not in this one. So that's the Zen dog. I like the joint, right? I like the joint. There we go. I like the joint. Zen dog. Let me make sure I spell this. Zen dog. And that's number 11, guys. So we're moving on. We're 2/3 of the way through, are we? Number 12. 2/3 of the way through. That is Zen dog right there. Number 11 there. Anita's in house. Hey, good to see Anita. Tapping in to say hi. Hey, always a pleasure to see Anita in there. You got your little Zen character there, is it? Not bad. All right, so let's get on to it. Let's get on to number 12. That's 2/3 of the way through. I think we're doing reasonable timing, although, probably half an hour longer than I expected to go for, but that's life in the fast lane. We've got Diddy. Diddy here was a late arrival to the group. Now, it's this. I'm pretty sure this is the main peer, but this is Diddy. There's the image of another beer. So we've got dogs, cats, bears, Pikachus. What else have we had? Peacocks. Peacocks there. So yeah, we're at the moment we've got 52k market cap, 2,400 liquidity, so very small retail play, and there's $4 in volume, so not really much happening here. What have they had stuff happening? Let's have a look here. It's been around for a while though, hasn't it? Been around for a while, and in fact, how long has it been around for? A year and 4 months. So it's been around for almost a year and 5 months. That's the chart right now, sitting kind of in the middle, kind of a little bit. But look at that volatility. OMG, you'd have your heart beating, wouldn't you? That sort of thing. Carry on. But that is where we are right on Diddy. I don't know the ownership structure or anything like that. So you have to do all your due diligence. But very small play there, and someone wanted it on, and they requested it. They did split with $4 of volume. No wonder they asked for it to get on the list. We got Diddy Bear Rip is the place to be for wonders as far as the eye can see. Welcome to the world both of fun and rare, where memories live with Diddy Bear. And there we go. So we got the opposite of a living bear. We got the Diddy Bear, a meme with utility. You bet it's true. Stories, gains, and AR too. There we go. So that is the Diddy Bear. Now they do have a website, so let's have a quick look at that. Now, like I said, I'm not endorsing any of these meme coins. You decide what you think is good or not. But the website's good. Look at that. Website's pretty good. Diddy Bear Productions. They've got a roadmap too. Welcome to the interactive world of Diddy Bear. So it's a little bit chilling, isn't it? A little bit chilling. But the website's really good. So what we're seeing with these all three websites, they're pretty good, especially the last two. So we've got Beer, we've got Teddy, and now we've got Diddy Bear, and can't say the graphics are pretty good. Now I don't know what the associations between some of these teams are, so you'll have to work out that too. There's often some founders and people are working on multiple tokens and so forth. So you need to know kind of the backstories around that to some degree. Also, who's but very very good. Look at that, and music too, music as well. They got themes as well. So they're set up really well. AR as well, augmented reality. It's the first one we've seen on that one. So that is pretty cool. They got the roadmap, about, etc. And let's have a quick look at the abouts part there. Hello, friends. They're our Diddy Bear in the house. So actually, the website's really good. So they're actually set up really good for growth. The chart's sitting in the middle. The volume's very low right now, which is a bit concerning, let's say the least. And the X account there, but they're doing They've got the good marketing. Let's see whether they're getting much interaction on X from this. Let's go. So let's have a look here. So they've done the posts. Let's see. They got 3 views on this one. They're doing good memes. 3 views. They might want to make their memes. If they're going to be scary beer, they can't be too cute beer. That's one thing I would say. This is kind of a too cute, isn't it? You want to be a little bit scary, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Need a bit more scary on this. Yeah. So that one there. I think the beer's just maybe too cute. Is it? You got the red eyes here, and it's doing cute little dance. I don't know. It's on one of these, one of the writing pads that Richard put out, which is a good idea. So it didn't take long to do that. That's great. I love that. So quick on the move there. Very, very cool. If you're going to be in the meme community, you got to be kind of quick to the mark. You see something that can be memeable, you get in on it. So we're seeing PCock do that. We're seeing Teddy Bear do that. That's a very cool thing to see. Yeah, we've got the cute thing with the pads. That's kind of cool. They've had a couple hundred views, so they're not getting the views, right? So they're definitely doing some good stuff with the promotions, but not getting the views. Now, remember that point, because we're going to talk about that later today when we do marketing promotions and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of people out there saying a lot of things and they actually don't know what they're talking about, right? And so the reason why we know is because we're doing the market research. We've been doing it for months and months and months. So we'll let you know some of the insights there, because it's very important. People are making a lot of statements about stuff they don't really know. And you guys are watching us to go through all these memes coins now. You're seeing, actually, if before you even saw any of this, what would you have said, right? All the memes are doing great, or some of the memes are doing great, or whatever. Promotion's great. How would you thought? But now that we're going through this, you're kind of getting an idea, they're doing some cool stuff, but they're not getting the reach. These guys are getting the reach, but not doing cool stuff, right? So imagine getting all that right. That's kind of the idea. Imagine everybody getting it right. So you see what I'm saying? There's a big differences between stuff. So hopefully that's a good little Blue's Clues there. But, really impressed with what they're doing, just not getting the views. And so what does that mean? What does it mean? Well, you're going to have to watch the next live stream, aren't you, to hear what I think about that. Right, so that is kind of cool. This is getting a bit better with the scary little thing. It doesn't have to be necessarily horrifying, but just a little bit chilling. You have to be very clear with your kind of your category that you're in. With the old Teddy Bear, because Teddy Bear is it? All right, so that is kind of cool there. So well done, generally speaking, on their website and everything else. That is a Teddy, and that is number 12, right? Number 12, Teddy Bear. So we'll just call it Teddy. Just call it Teddy. There's number 12, guys. We're over 2/3 of the way. We're on home run now. We're on the home run. We're up to number 13. Number 13 here. And, of course, we're getting down to the market cap. The market caps are getting lower, right, because we're going down by market cap. And this is Mitchie. And I've got to do a special shout-out to Mitchie. The Mitchie team, really cool people, and done some good stuff there. Mitchie, at the moment, very one of the OGs, right, OG memes. And, of course, this has been around for how long? 6 months, 29 days, kind of early, this particular pair. So yeah, let's have a look at the numbers. We've got 36k market cap, 18k liquidity, pretty good ratio. Now you can do all the ratios and do it on spreadsheet, put in the liquidity to market cap and all sorts of stuff like that. I'll leave that up to you guys to do. Chart is obviously at the bottom end right now, just actually finding a newer low, or not the newer low because the open was lower, but definitely showing some weakness here. But volume is $1,100, which was better than the Diddy that we just saw, right? So it's $1,100. So it's still turning over some stuff there. Let's have a look here. Richard Hart's dog, Mitchie, the Chihuahua, tokenized on PulseChain and lovely memory we will never forget. Now, obviously, Rochelle's dog, Briah, is there with Miss Rochelle. But this is Richard Hart's play on Richard Hart's main dog, Chihuahua there, which passed away, right? So that is the community right now for this. Let's have a look at the website, and we'll see what we think about this too. Anita says Diddy Teddy. There we go, Diddy Teddy there from there. All right, so that's the website. They've got their website, which is cool, Mitchie-pulsechain.framer.io, and they got a bit of a picture there on Richard Hart and probably talking about his Chihuahua there. So yeah, he says if there's some place nice after this live, she is there. Talking about the old Pikachu there. Chihuahua, sorry, I should say. So that is from Richard. That's a website, so cool. Tick for that. I mean, it's a simple one, but at least they got one. Let's have a look at the X there. Now, they probably need one with more pictures and more themes there, and more animations, and no reason why they can't do that. So it's a bit of feedback there. What else? Let's go to the X account. They got 258 people following, so still small. They need to do a lot of work there. Let's see what else they got going here. They've posted Briah which is kind of, it's a bit counterintuitive with the old Mitchie. I guess they're showing some love there. But hey, look, Coinarchy WarRoom's coming up. There's no love and friendship there, right? There's no love and friendship there. We already see the Briah PCock battles going on, and no doubt more of these meme coins will be battling. Now, you can do it in a friendly way. You don't do it in a nasty way. You just say, hey, look, come on, look at, you think Briah's good? Well, look at Mitchie. Look at Mitchie. Mitchie's the Richard Hart dog. I mean, there's lots of cool stuff you can do in a friendly way. So there we go. Although we know on social media, things people get out of control pretty quickly. But they haven't been doing a lot of posts recently. So that's one big thing they could do, right? A lot more posting in there. And they can do, and if they don't have lots of pictures of the Chihuahua of Richards, they can do a lot of anime versions, right? Get AI to do some versions there. And post quickly there. So there we are. There's some feedback there. We saw that Diddy was very quick. PCock was very quick, picking up on some of the memes. So that is right there where we are right now. So that is Mitchie. We'll post that. That is number 13, guys. Market cap is 36K. So we're getting into the small ones at the moment, but it's been around for a long time. And they do have a pretty committed core community. But if they want to grow, they've certainly got to do a bit of work there. So that is Mitchie. A big shout out to the team, though. I really do like their team. So that is Mitchie. You can check it out, one of the OGs. That is the coin there. Bam, bam. All right, so we're getting up to number 14, guys. We have got 2 more to go on the 15 list here. The next one, of course, is the big juggernaut, the new big influence on PulseChain. That is, hey, look, I've got a Fibonacci on there. How about that? That is the coin there. So it's a down coin right now. On the Xavier, but at some point it's probably going to get picked up. And of course, Xavier's not leaving anywhere. We're at the market cap there at 28K, we're liquidity at 12K, and we've got volume at $1,600. So a little bit bigger than Mitchie had, but the chart there is a pump tires, and we're currently at 4 zeros, 2,800 there. Let's have a look. I'm going to auto tune that actually. That's the auto one. And let's have a look. Any comments about that? This is the official real Xavier token. Welcome to the Xavier University graduate and gains on PulseChain there. Now, obviously, it's still got to find a bottom yet. Hasn't found that. And of course, Xavier is relatively new to crypto, so it take him a little bit of time to get things moving. But if he's consistent and out there, slowly and surely, we could see a bottom and a rise in this. So this is Xavier. He of course he's an entertainer on X. He's got 478,000 followers. He's certainly connected to a lot of other large influencers in South Africa and beyond. And he's just started moving into crypto over the last, month, or I think it is, month around that. So yeah, pretty brand new there, but is on the move. So there we go. That's some of his posts. So obviously he can do a lot more posting, and obviously does entertainment. So he's got to mix the two together. He's posting a lot about Crypto Impress, which is another new influencer that's come to PulseChain. That's pretty cool. And so on. Yeah, posting a lot of her posts actually. So that's kind of cool. I'm just trying to look down for Xavier posts. This is another new influencer to PulseChain, the Crypto Impress. He posted the Richard Hart post there, getting 5,007 views, gets lots of views. That is it there. I'm just trying to find out what the last time he posted the XVR. So he hasn't posted that for a little while here, at least. I can see, but he does post a lot. Well, this is the last 8 hours. He's posting like pretty frequently, similar to, I guess, even more than Somi. He's posting more than Somi. So there we go. Pretty prolific poster there. But Xavier, good guy, it seems, and coming to PulseChain. So there we go. Could do a lot more around Xavier, but maybe it's just the beginning on that one. Right, just the beginning. So that is Xavier right now. I'll keep a lookout for that. Question mark. But certainly 480,000 followers, nothing to be sneezed at there. All right, but crypto's a different game from entertainment, isn't it? So it needs just a bit of time and help there. So that's XVR from Xavier. Bam. All right. So that is we covered Mitchie. That was Mitchie, the last one, and we just covered Xavier. So we're up to the number 15, guys. You guys made it. You champions. You made it to the end. Number 15. And of course, let's see where that is at. So what's number 15? P-Head. This was a late addition. The community asked for it, and it got in there. The market cap is very tiny, though. Very tiny, little mini tiny. It's not too different. The chart's not too different. I guess a little different, but not too different from the Xavier one we just saw. Let's do the log there. And this has only been around for not long. It's got a market cap of 9,200, $7,800 liquidity. So that's good. The liquidity to the market cap. Volume's very low, though, 172K. We can see it's been very low for some time. The last time it had big volume, or decent relative to the market cap, was $16,000 on the 17th of August there. And let's see, what has it got details? Let's have a look. Pig ahead, it's got a picture there. Pig ahead is the number one meme token on PulseChain, everything to $1. Well, it has to be proven, right? Because we've already seen there's several other, another at least 14 meme coins that are bigger than Pig ahead at the moment. But look, this times can change. They can get their things together. They can build a community, do great promotions. Maybe they'll start rising to the ranks and realize the vision there. But a lot of meme coins out there say going to be number one or are number one. But the proof's in the pudding, right? Proof's in the pudding there. But it's brand new, relatively speaking. Been around for 25 days. Let's see what they got there. They got the picture here. P head to $1. So they got the vision. At least got that, and they got the moon there. Let's have a look at the website. They got a website. Let's have a look. They got a website, so that's a good start. They got pig ahead here. Got the picture there. So it's certainly funny to look at, right? Funny to look at. You guys can decide. They got all the socials. Very good, very good. They got the contract. Like I say, they could probably add on how to buy. All these websites could have how to buy. Some teams need to actually get websites, but that is not bad, not bad. So that's kind of to the point. So I'm happy with that. Let's go to the X count, see how they're doing over on X. Let's look. Let's do that. So they got 253 followers. So still small, relatively small count, like Mitchie, kind of small. Mitchie's been around a lot longer though. How many posts they got? So they got this post here, 3,000 views on that. So it's not bad, not bad. So yeah, they got good engagement there. What else they got here? 63 views. So why they got 3,000 on this one? Now you can ask yourself that. Now I'm not answering those, but you can ask them. And then they've got the cool one there. So there we go. And then we got this one here, 31st of August. So it's later, of course. They got 63 views on that. This one's got 78 views. So they're definitely consistent with their posting, and that's good. So they're consistent. They're also been added to Emmet Farm, so it's good. They're adding utility. So that's good for Pig Ahead. We got 145 views on that. Solana there. Give that a like there. Solana PulseChain. They got the bridge, of course. Looks like they've been added. Pig Ahead's been added by Liberty Swap. So that's more utility in some ways. Definitely a way of buying on this. It's good news. 82 views on that. So it looks like they're being active. I think they have, with your memes, you either follow on someone else's meme, or you have to create your own theme around your meme, be quite consistent. So I think there's something they have to think about. All the meme teams have to think about that. PulseChain, $1 on there, right? So PGN's market is red, 76. So you see not a lot of views. They're doing good on the postings. Maybe they can do a bit more creative on the animes, on the actual images, on the memes, make it more memeable. So yeah, that's what it is. DG and Pighead there, 234 views, as you can see. So there we go. That is another meme coin there, and they're doing a lot of things right. They need to do other things to grow, but other than that, they've got everything set up. So that is number 15. And that is Pighead there, or Pig Ahead, and I'll post it in the chat there as well. So we did it all 15, guys. We did it, and that's kind of cool. So Pighead there. We went from the big to the small, and we saw the pros and the cons with all the teams, and where they're doing well, where they could do better, and of course we provided some feedback to that. So that is the Pighead number 15, guys. Now, obviously, there are a few other utilities that we could have possibly put into the mix. I'm going to quickly talk about that before we finish. With the old tokens there, Sparta is kind of a meme, right? And it has its own hex DAO, so a lot of DAOs. So we have meme coins that are DAOs, with either got DAOs or treasuries, those kind of things. Oink is, arguably a meme and a treasury in there as well. We didn't talk much about those. We talked about most of the coins on here we've talked about, but just a few exceptions. So I'm just going to make note to the exceptions and essentially why they went in. They either had a DAO or treasury, making a little bit different there, right? We also talked about virtually all these. RhinoFi, of course, has a recharge treasury. We didn't talk about that, but it's essentially a meme as well, right? The old RhinoFi. Where'd that go? Disappeared. So there are a couple here exceptions. RhinoFi there, another one. PGC, the Greys, of course, another meme, alien meme, but with a DAO, first DAO token on PulseChain. So there's a few exceptions. That's why I'm mentioning them at the end, just so that you know that because they had treasury with the DAOs, I kind of left those ones off, but they're all memes essentially as well, right? So they're kind of dual purpose there as well. Now, often the memes there, and I think we got everything else on here, really. I think we hit all the others here. There are a few other memes around. They're kind of pump and dumps, but they don't really either have communities around them. They're pretty much pump and dumps. They graduate from pump tires. They come into PulseX. they get pumped and dumped, and there's no community around them. I think having community around a meme coin's pretty essential. And so, take it for what it was. Now, we did see in our top 15, we saw at least one of them that didn't really have a community around it, but like Trump token, but it does have not an obvious community around it anyway, but does have the brand, right? Has the brand that can get pumped by the market, just because of perception. So that is the top 15. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Certainly, and also gave the chance for people to add into memes. We added the 3 memes into there, so it's not like we didn't put out the reach there on the old show. Now that's kind of cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the content there. That's coming up. So Rack and Michelle is doing it, right? So Rack and Michelle, let's quickly pull him up. And he is the one that's going to be launching this WarRoom on Coinarchy, one of his 2 protocols coming up. And of course, you're going to be into battle with one of the memes that he's supporting, which is Briah, right? So it's going to be fun to see. We're going to see Firewell out there. Going to see a lot of the top, teddy bears and all those bears, everyone fighting for these spots, right? So it's going to be pretty interesting. See where all that goes, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. The battle is coming, folks. This could be launching maybe as early as the 13th. I've got it. That'll be 27 days after his initial post, assuming he keeps that timeline, or with at least within a week thereafter. So this is the first of the whales to launch, and then we're getting both whales launching this month. So we're getting, Rack and Michelle, presumably before the middle of the month, and then Firewell, and this at least by the middle, if not the second half of the month. So it's going to be awesome, guys. It's going to be really awesome to see that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I enjoyed talking about it, and that was a deeper dive normally than we do. And of course, we're doing a second show later on today, so I've got to end up now. But we're doing PulseChain promotions and marketing. We're going to drop you some insights. We're the only one doing the market research, I can tell you that. And we're going to let you know what sort of things are happening. We're going to dispel some myths that are out there, because I've seen some big comments from some people, and it's just not what's happening on PulseChain, and what is not needed on PulseChain. So we're going to drop some of those insights in our second live stream. Hopefully that's going to be helpful to people, because if you're basing your worldview on things that aren't real, then it's not helpful moving forward. So we're going to talk about that. All right, peace out. So 15 coins. Let's go through them all just to wrap it up with that. So it was a really fun time to go through it. We went through beer token. That was the first one. And then we went number 2. We went through most token, number 2 there, base. Then number 3, we went through a doubt token. Isn't that cool? And then number 4, we went through PCock. And then number 5, we went to Teddy. And then number 6, we went to Pepe. And then number 7, we went to Trump. And of course, then we went number 8, we went to Pikachu, I guess you would say it. And then we number 9, we went to Briah, of course. Then number 10 was Doge. And number 11 was a Zendog. It's for all gangsters, isn't it? Zendog. We got Diddy as well. Diddy there. Needs to be a little bit more scary, but Diddy there is out there too. Then we went to Mitchie, OG Mitchie, there with the Richard Arts Chihuahua. And then, of course, we went to Xavier, the new big influencer on PulseChain, and looking to see what he does moving forward. And then, of course, P-Head to wrap up our top 15, the little play there that's going to be number 1 meme. So those are the top 15 that we've went through today. Obviously, there are other meme coins. We talked about that. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. That's almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 58 minutes. Isn't that awesome? And I hope you enjoyed the deep dive. Catch me for the second show later on today. We're going to talk about PulseChain promotions, marketing, and the monster thread in detail. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Peace out, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and see you in Strategy Club. Links in the video description. Bye for now. Take care. I think we got one comment there. Thanks for all the alpha there. See us, Valiant. I appreciate that. Likewise. All right. Bye for now. Enjoy. Meme battles are coming. Coinarchy WarRoom soon. All right. Take care.